Okay, in this video, this is the second video of a string of videos about volume, and in this one I'm going to be working some example problems where we're dealing with prisms and cylinders. No spheres and no cones and no pyramids, okay? Just prisms and cylinders. So here we go. Let's find the area of these shapes. These should look familiar because we just did them. In the last video we followed up with how to do them. Now we're actually going to follow through with some measurements and find some numerical answers. Here's what I know. The diameter of this cylinder here, the diameter of the cylinder is 4, and the length of the cylinder from here to here is 10. So what I want to do is I know that the volume is equal to the area of the base times the length of the cylinder, or the height of the cylinder, or whatever you want to think of it, right? Well, the base in this case, the thing that's projected throughout, would be the circle. So I need to find the area of that circle. Area is pi r squared. The diameter is 4, which means that the radius here, the distance from the middle to the outside, is only 2 units, right? So I need pi times 2 squared, and that'll give me the area of the base. That would be 4 pi's. Now I need to multiply it by how deep the circle is. How many circles do I have? Well, I have 10 units of circles stacked up. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to multiply it by 10. I'm going to multiply it by 10. 4 pi's times 10 gives me a grand total of 40 pi's. I don't know what my units are. It'd be cubic. Let's say everything on this page is centimeters, okay? All centimeters. There we go. Now we have units to use. That means I'm going to have cubic centimeters for my units of the answer, right? Okay, over here, a little bit tougher, a lot tougher actually, because I don't have the height of my triangle here. My first step is I'm going to call this my base, right? This is my base over here, this triangle. I'm going to multiply, when I find the area of that triangle, I'm going to multiply it by 10, and that's really like the height. It's like my prism has been knocked over, right? It's on its side, but really it's my height is 10. I'm going to multiply whatever the area of the base is by 10, and that should give me then the volume of that shape. But the problem is, here's what I know about the triangle. It's equilateral, which means I have 8, 8, and 8, but I don't know how tall it is, right? I need to find that. Well, that's really like looking at a right triangle. So let's go through and let's use a right triangle. Here's what I know. That's 8. That's not all the way across the triangle. It's only halfway. It's from here to here, right? So that would be half of the 8. That'd be 4 units. You know what? We've done a lot of these in honors geometry, shaping up to be a 60-degree angle. Here it's a 30, 60, 90 triangle. How do I know that? Because it's equilateral, 60, 60, 60. And I know that I go from the long leg to the hypotenuse by doubling. I go from the short leg to the hypotenuse by doubling, 4 to 8. Short leg to long leg by tacking on a square root of 3 at the end. So that's the height of my triangle. Well, let's come back here then. What is the area of this shape here? Right? That would be 1/2. The base is 8. The height I now know is 4 square roots of 3. So that is the area of my base. A lot more complicated, isn't it? Half of 8 is 4. 4 times 4 is 16. So that is 16 square roots of 3 for the base. Now I need to take that. So to find the volume, I'm going to take the area of the base. I'm going to multiply it times 10 because that's the depth of my picture here. So if I take 16 square roots of 3 and I multiply by 10, I have 160 square roots of 3 now. Since we're using centimeters for our measurements, that's cubic centimeters. If I wanted to go ahead and type that into my calculator and round it, if I needed an approximate answer, I'm going to take the square root of 3, which is 1.7. I'm going to multiply it by 160. It's about 277.1 cubic centimeters. That's another way to look at it, right? There's our rounded decimal answer. Okay, one more. I need to find the area of this base. So the idea is, can I find the area of that shape first? That's my base, right? This end. Well, here's what I know. It's like I have a 4x4 square, right? If I looked at it like a 4x4 square, I would say that I got 16 units total, right? 16 total. But you know what? I'm not interested in the whole thing, so I'm going to take out that much of it, and now I have my stair step, right? Because it looks like it goes up 2 over 2, up 2 over 2. Well, that's nice. Then that means I have 4 here, and 4 here, and 4 here, and 4 that I'm taking out. You know what? I need 12 of the 16, don't I? You know what? The area of the base is going to be 12 square units. Okay? What's the depth? Well, I look at this, and I see that it's going back 6 units. So my volume, which is the area of the base, times the height, is going to be now 12 for the base, and 6 for the height, and 12 times 6 is 72, and that's going to be, once again, centimeters for all of our units, so cubic centimeters. Okay, I'm going to quit this video. I'm going to start another one with more examples where I get into like a hexagon prism, right? This thing is going to get ridiculous in a hurry, okay? So I'll finish up with one more video on prisms and cylinders, then we'll hit pyramids and cones, and we'll be done.